This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
Tuesday, April the 21st, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news that the police constable at the center of public scrutiny and criticism following a fatal shooting almost a month ago is this morning sitting behind bars charged with murder. Everton Randolph Gittins of lot number 1 Dash Gap Bank House, St. Michael, appeared before acting magistrate Alliston Seal in the District A Magistrates Court yesterday to face murder, endangering life and wounding charges. The 43-year-old, who is accused of the shooting death of Selwyn Knight on March the 15th, was remanded to Dodds Prison until May the 18th. Apart from murder, he is also charged that on March 15th he recklessly engaged in conduct which placed Junior Knight, son of the deceased, in danger of death or serious bodily harm, and unlawfully wounding Junior Knight with intent to maim, disfigure, or disable him, or to cause him some serious bodily harm. It is understood that a late afternoon effort to get bail from High Court Judge Olston Allen was also denied. Meanwhile, the Royal Barbados Police Force is stoutly defending its handling of investigations into the shooting death of Selwyn Knight and the arrest of Constable Gittins. Against the backdrop of public calls for justice and the speeding up of the process of bringing charges against Constable Gittins, Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of crime Mark Thompson said in a two-page statement yesterday afternoon that at no time did the force want to sacrifice accuracy and completeness in their probe for speed. Thompson noted that the police administration had given the assurance that it would conduct an impartial and transparent investigation with the greatest of alacrity. ACP Thompson noted that the police force operates a due process model of criminal justice, which has elaborate protections for accused persons. Some of these protections are enshrined in the Constitution of Barbados, including the right to a fair trial. The senior officer stated that in a small jurisdiction where everyone knows everyone, this right has to be jealously guarded. He said while the RBPF understood the pain and anguish of family members and empathized with them, justice according to the law was the safest approach to take in this case. Thompson said even though the force considered the interests and the rights of the public to be kept informed of the administration of justice and enforcement of the law, those interests and rights must be balanced against those of the accused and the victims and their family. In other local news now, outgoing principal of the UWI Cayfield campus, Hilary Beckles, is steering clear of a possible war of words with Prime Minister Stuart. Instead, Sir Hilary has proposed talks with Stuart, who Sunday night accused him of disrespect and blasted him for criticizing current government policy in relation to university education that has seen the introduction of tuition fees for Barbadians attending regional university campuses. The Prime Minister charged that Sir Hilary was using the Cayfield campus as an alternative government to the ruling DLP. The principal, who is Vice-Chancellor-designate for all UWI campuses, and said there was, however, a need to share the institution's scientific assessment of policy, both positive and negative.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
FAS Entertainment presents the Digicel Vintage Reggae Show and Dance, featuring Marcia Griffiths, Dobby Thompson,
It's a miracle.
Fab 5,
I'm the man they call Sweet
Boris Gardner,
I wanna wake up with you.
Leroy Gibbons,
Magic moment.
Shaka Demus and Pliers, Admiral to bet. Plus Biggie Irie and Super Ruben. MC Admiral International. The Digicel Vintage Reggae Show and Dance. Friday, April 24th, Garfield Somers Gymnasium. Showtime, 9 p.m.
A test of character. A test of focus. A test of will. A test of resilience. A test of courage. Barbados, the test is on. West Indies, England, May 1st at the Mecca. Tickets $30, $40, $50, and $60. It's on.
Are you Barbados is on?
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
On the regional scene, shocking surveillance video shows how a man said to be a close friend of the assailant was gunned down point blank in broad daylight in Guyana over the weekend. More in this report from Capital News in Guyana.
The police are this evening looking at this surveillance video with the hope of getting to the bottom of the shooting of Lodge resident Sean Nelson. The incident occurred in Orange Walk early Sunday morning, and the video clearly shows the victim walking along Orange Walk when his assailant whipped out a gun and fired a shot. The bullet hit Nelson to the head. The suspect then calmly took his time, boarded his car and drove away. He later turned himself into the police. After the suspect fled the scene, persons rushed to the man's assistance and took him to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he succumbed yesterday. While the motive remains unclear, eyewitnesses told this newscast that the suspect appeared to have been under the influence of alcohol. At Nelson's home in the Lodge housing scheme, his relatives were baffled over the entire ordeal. They told reporters that the suspect was a very close friend of the family.
Bahamian authorities have recently intercepted close to 200 illegal Haitian migrants, with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Immigration, Fred Mitchell, warning that the matter was getting out of control. Mitchell said the latest arrests have brought about a new dimension to the problem that must be tackled head-on.
The interesting thing about it is some of the children are actually babes in arms. So, this is now a new dimension to this problem. And the reason why I wanted to actually address this is those of you who've been watching the international news will know that sadly 650 people died in the Mediterranean Sea trying to get to Italy. So this migrant issue is just going completely out of control. We continue to believe that this is being driven by a criminal enterprise that we must find some way to interrupt.
And finally, on the global front, police in South Africa struggled to control a wave of anti-immigrant violence that has swept the country in recent days, leaving several people dead as authorities scrambled to detain those responsible and prevent further bloodshed. The cause of this surge in violence is murky, with some blaming alleged inflammatory comments about foreign nationals from the Zulu King, others saying a labor dispute between locals and foreigners back in March turned nasty, while unemployment in impoverished areas has also been a factor.
Prepped for battle, these Zulu men make fierce enemies. And the police aren't taking chances. Police have been firing rubber bullets. There is a crowd, South Africans, mostly Zulus from the hostel here. We've been gathering there, burning the shops around here. And there are foreigners, mostly Nigerians, at the other end of that road.
And on that note, we come to the end of our Barbados Today morning news update. However, you can join us this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Lime TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.